like to thank Minister Sappin for coming today and to Mal, and yesterday to the Premier and to Minister Dibb and all the ministers that have been able to make it here to represent our communities. We've spent some time in Taree over the past few days because that was the first accessible area to get into after this event. But we've just come back from Wingham, and that's like nothing I've ever seen before. So we need some crews here. We need them here fast. Big crews, big support. I'm incredibly proud of my community. The way that community have wrapped around each other, the football teams that have come out to clean up and support our elderly, support our low socio-economic communities has been next level and amazing, but it's not, we can't do it on our own, so we need all levels of government to come in and really wrap around us now and support us quickly. We can't wait. There is mud up to our knees in Wingham. Please get some crews here to help us.
Thanks. Look, I just want to thank everybody who's here today to see it firsthand. They can take that message back and work with their agencies to make sure that we get the support that we desperately need. We do need people on the ground. As Tanya said, the volunteers are wearing out, and I'm sure those people are on their way and will be here working for the community, with the community, as soon as they can get here.
And Tanya and Claire, we're here to be with you and to work out the best way that we can provide the help that you need. And we still have some emergency warnings in place. There's still a lot of people isolated, and we're just now getting ready to go into the recovery. And recovery is a long journey. It has a long tail. We know that. There's many stages of it. But the immediate now is people want to clean up, and that's what Tanya's talking about, wanting support for that clean-up, and we'll work out the best way we can do it. There are strike teams, and some of them are on the ground. The M1 only fully open today, and I know it's one lane in some areas, so trying to get all that support in. We know that the fodder's being dropped. We know that the farmers need support. We've looked at some of the businesses downtown, and we'll meet with some of them later. We've been out to Wingham, Tanya, so we just drove out there, and we saw what you've been seeing. And I know that we've got a team here. We've got Mel Lanyon. Mel's here as the CEO of Reconstruction Authority. We've got Brendan Moon, the Coordinator General of NEMA, so we've got state and federal here. And we've got Essential Energy, we've got our SES, our police, and we'll just work out the best way that we can approach this. As you heard from the Premier yesterday, he said, you know, we go through the stages, we go through the response where we're saving lives, then it's shelter and food, and we'll make sure that that continues to happen, and then we start the clean-up, and then we start to transition into the recovery. I am well aware of what this journey's like. I know it personally and professionally, and I'll do everything I can to support the communities who've gone through this, you know, big event, this big flood. And I've seen people's faces. I know there's shock and disbelief, and we've got to wrap our arms around them in the best practical way that we can do from the government levels. Thank you. Who's next? Daniel, our Deputy Commissioner.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. As you've heard, the continued coordinated significant response right across the mid-north coast and the north coast of New South Wales continues in response to the events that we've seen the last week. As it stands today, 102 warnings still exist, and 4 of those are at the emergency warning level. As I said yesterday, the reality is we know the community wants to get back in, and the community wants us to lift those warnings as quickly as possible. And we do so at the fastest pace possible, making sure that your safety is absolutely front of mind. Whilst the toll of this event is significant, the reality is the overall loss of life is relatively small for the community impact, and we don't want that to change. We don't want any further hurt, and we certainly don't want any further fatalities moving forward. Across the ground, there have been a significant number of damage assessments undertaken already, and we're over 1,400. Unfortunately, at this stage, we are well into the 400s when it comes to uninhabitable or destroyed properties. The toll from that will continue to grow over the coming days. Our crews are on the ground, there are more coming. We've brought in 200 from interstate as well, SES agencies, from the ACT, from WA, from Victoria, from Queensland and from South Australia. That's on top of the significant effort from not only the New South Wales State Emergency Service, but all your emergency service partners and the partners that go with that to make this one very significant effort. There is also a significant community effort ongoing at the moment in regards to spontaneous volunteering, and community members that want to get involved, and I have seen this morning a significant number of those. The Mid-Coast Community Response Group has a Facebook page set up, and they are integrated in with the New South Wales SES to make sure that we provide that coordinated effort and provide as much assistance as quickly as possible to people along the way. We know there is a significant road ahead, and we continue to work with the community. We will be here all the way through this because the members of the New South Wales SES are also members of these communities. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The New South Wales Reconstruction Authority will stand alongside the communities in the Mid-North Coast. We understand the impacts, and it's absolutely devastating, as we said, to go out with the Minister and others just recently to have a look at Taree and Wingham. To see people's possessions on a sidewalk only reinforces the need that the Reconstruction Authority will stand so strongly with you. We understand that recovery can take time. There are immediate things that we want to put in place so the community can see that we are moving forward. Clean up is one of those key things, and having had experience with the Northern Rivers floods in 2022, nothing signifies to a community that we are moving forward than to see clean up around the community. To then, there has been an extensive plan put in place and was ready prior to the significant nature of these floods with the EPA and Public Works, who have worked closely with councils. As Daniel mentioned, there's over 70 strike teams working around the communities of the Mid-North Coast at the moment to make sure that we can clean out and clean up. It's then about moving waste to temporary transfer stations to make sure that it's not visible. And from there, Public Works will make sure that it goes to an acceptable place. The Reconstruction Authority is currently establishing recovery assistance points. They will be established in Taree, Maxville, Kempsey and Port Macquarie in the first instance, with Taree starting on Tuesday and the rest of the centre starting on Wednesday. They're effectively a one-stop shop where community members can come in to get support. We'll have partners like St Vincent's and Salvos. We'll have legal aid. We'll have insurance companies and a range of others who can provide services. For members of the community who want information, I encourage you to go to the New South Wales Government website and at flood recovery updates. We will continue to update the services and where those locations will be. What's important to understand is that we will be flexible and really go with community needs. We will have mobile outreach to make sure we go into those communities that are currently isolated, but we'll also move recovery assistance points around so that we can service as many people as possible. Whilst our first priorities will be clean up, restoring access, but also resupply, which we do with our partners, the SES and others, it's really about thinking about what the future looks like, and we're very much planning for that at the moment. I want to make it very clear, if people have emergency accommodation needs at the moment, that is available. There's no need to wait for a recovery assistance point. There's information available on the website that I gave, and I encourage people to go there. We want people to be safe, and we want people to be out of harm's way in the first instance, whilst we stand alongside you. It was mentioned before that recovery can take time, and it will take time. When we look at the scope of what's happened up and down the coast, and just seeing the devastating impacts, it won't happen quickly, but we want to make sure we move forward. The purpose of the rapid damage assessments helps inform us of the impact and what communities need moving forward into recovery. They are very important, and I thank those agencies that are taking part. There have already been the announcement of support for the community. The Community Recovery Grant provides up to $1 million for councils in the LGAs that are affected to enable them to clean up quickly. The Premier has also announced personal hardship support. and that will be available through Service New South Wales, but we'll advise when that is ready to be applied for. At the recovery assistance points, St Vincent's and Salvation Army, will be able to provide immediate support to people that need it. But again, if you need immediate support, if it's food, accommodation, I encourage you to look at that site or go to the nearest evacuation centre and we'll support you. We'll continue to work with our Commonwealth partners in terms of the need for support for community. I look forward to working with the community. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. I'll get this Brendan from Essential Energy, and then we'll wrap up with Brendan.
Good afternoon,
People
everyone.
want to know about how.
Okay, thank you. We currently have just under 1,500 customers off supply still across the flood-affected area, with just under 1,000 in the Taree community itself, Taree Wingham. We have a large resource pool here locally, so the team have been here since Monday. They are part of the community, and they're really keen to work hard to get our customers back on supply. We have a large contingent of people mobilising from across the state today, and we'll have well in excess of 120 resources in Taree alone tomorrow on top of the resources that we've currently got here, out on the ground with machinery, restoring what we can. We're also happening to undertake a large number of safety de-energisations where customers' premises have been inundated. That's north of 350 currently in and around Taree, and we'll continue to grow as we do our street assessments. There's a lot of information on our website with regards to the process that is needed to be undertaken by our customers before we can safely restore supply. On our website, we also have a large amount of information regarding the support that we're providing our customers. So I really do ask our customers to go to our website or call our contact centre on 13 20 80 for any relevant information that they need for themselves as customers. But rest assured, we will not be leaving this community until we put the last supply back on to people. We've got drones and choppers still out in the air doing damage assessments for the network. I must say, some parts of the catchment, it's heartbreaking to see just the loss and just the significant impact to the overhead network. There's multiple spans of network just gone as a result of these floods. So it will take time for us to restore supply, but rest assured we're going to be here for the long haul, and we will be providing updates to our customers via our planned outage page on Essential Energy's website once we have particular information for customers. So I really do ask that they visit the website or call our contact centre, and we'll get you the information that you need relevant to your premise.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you, Minister. Mayor, it is clear that this event is going to have a devastating impact on the communities extending from north of Coffs south to Newcastle at this stage. But what we are doing is we are absolutely committed to working with all levels of government and the community to ensure that the marathon that confronts them in their recovery is supported all the way through. And what we have done already is, early on in this event, we have worked very, very closely with New South Wales to ensure the necessary support to support New South Wales and their communities stay safe during this event has been a number one priority of the Commonwealth Government. And you've seen a range of assistance measures there, from planning teams in the Wollongong Centre through to ADF helicopters performing aerial rescues at night. Additional resources will be made available in the coming days to support your recovery from this event. Importantly also, we're working with the New South Wales Reconstruction Authority to ensure that vital financial assistance to individuals whose homes have been flooded, to small businesses, to primary producers, to not-for-profit organisations, and importantly to local government, so that we can get people back in their homes, that we can reconnect those communities, and that we can get business up on their feet again. And you will see over the coming weeks and months additional support, jointly funded by the Commonwealth and also by the state government, roll out to ensure people's recovery are supported from this event.
Thanks, Brendan. Any questions?
I did just have a question about Wingham. Obviously, they've been cut off. Was there an estimated time for when, connectivity will be restored. The back way the roads are melting away.
Yeah, so the low-level bypass is functioning.
Can you come into the middle? Sorry.
The bike bridge is gone. People won't be able to get out through Tanoni for a long time. That's going to take that's a big job. But the low-level bypass that's replacing Cedar Party Bridge, while we build the new Cedar Party Bridge, has withstood it, and it's open. It was open at 6 o'clock last night, so direct access. We've been out there this afternoon to have a look at it. People can come and go through Taree.
I know mobile issues is still a massive problem out there as well.
SOS for Telstra.
Yeah. Can anyone comment on the fact of when people can have telecommunications restored? I know a lot of people are telling us they can't even call 000.
We have to get the reports from Telstra. They put them out daily, and they're working as quick as they can. I was in touch with them earlier today, so they're doing everything they can, just like Essential Energy. There's, infrastructure that's down, but they're working as hard as they can, and I know that we also have the cells on wheels, so I hope to see some of those really soon.
Did you want to comment?
The main tower is
Step
located.
forward.
The main tower is located in Wingham, so obviously that was an essential piece of infrastructure that has been damaged. So it will take time. Those that have Optus services, a lot of families have one of each in their household, so they have been able to get communication out there when needed. But I've been speaking on the ground with a lot of families in Wingham today that, I was there and I had SOS only, so I had to wait till I got back to Taree to make any contact with anyone for extra support. But I have been assured by Telstra, and I'm in contact with them multiple times a day while this is unfolding, that they are working round the clock to get that service repaired so that people can have communication back up. Obviously, communication is the first thing that people need when they're in a situation like this. They want to be able to connect with their families and connect to support services, jump online so they can, find the forms and get support when they need it. So, but I've been assured by Telstra that they are working around the clock, just like everyone else here is, to get things back online.
Yeah.
Tanya, could I just ask, did today feel like another difficult wave? Obviously, we've had so many areas cut, the highway's been cut, a lot of people haven't been able to get between all these different areas. Did today bring more areas of, hard things to see and communities doing it tough?
Oh, today broke my heart right into, seeing Taree first and foremost was heartbreaking enough when we got in there, but today was next level, and I know it's just going to continue escalating that heartache as more communities become accessible. The dairy farmers that we've got in our communities, they are on the brink, and I can't stress enough the mental health support that's going to be needed. And I'm not talking about a number that you ring if you feel down in the dumps. I mean people knocking on doors to do welfare checks. That's what we need right now. We need people knocking on the doors to make sure that those farmers out there that have lost generations worth of farming,
Yeah, the mental health support will be there, and it's very important that we, not just have the number's important, but it's important that we go out and we have, things like safe havens and that sort of access, and particularly with our farmers, because we know what it does, particularly seeing the stock that, are deceased, and that can be very distressing for people, for the farmers, but also for the locals.
Could I ask a question about food and medication supply? Is there enough resources to get food and medication and water to people currently across the region? Yeah.
Yeah, resupply and particularly medication is something that we've focused on very significantly over the last few days. There is a significant state level plan to try and get resources back in where possible. From the federal level right the way down, we work very closely with supermarket chains and other logistics companies to make sure that that's there. Only 2 nights ago we did a drop of chemotherapy drugs via drone, which was the first time ever that we've actually done that, and we continue to do more and more of that kind of work. That remains absolutely at the top of the list of things. There are still many people cut off, and resupplying those communities as best as possible, whether by air, by water, by road, will continue to be a significant focus for quite some time.